It was a hive of activity this Sunday as the contractor working on the Manyame Bridge along Harare-Masvingo Highway was putting final touches on the project, which is said to be vital infrastructure milestone for both local and regional connectivity. The bridge, which sits on one of the country's busiest highways and near Skyline Toll Plaza in Harare, is expected to ease traffic congestion, enhance road safety and improve travel efficiency between Harare and areas in the southern parts of the country.
In terms of ease of doing business, it brings also about employment for youth. Traffic is very free.
But kufara chaizvo nekugadzirwa road yedu especially isusu tinofamba netsoka tichiuya paSkyline branch redu apa paJerusalem tinonzwa kufara ende tinofamba takasununguka.
Taisita ma 3 hours takamira pa roundabout apa izvinezva 2 minutes later tosvika.
Kufara chaizvo nebasa riri kuitwa munyika medu muZimbabwe muno, especially takataura bridge riri paMasvingo panapa. Ai bridge riri busy.
Site manager engineer Benjamin Bara said they are in the final stages of the project as they race against the commencement of the rain season.
In terms of our timelines, we are on our last phase of the project where we are now doing the finishings on the structure. We are doing the walkways and the parapets, and we are also doing the earthworks that will connect the new bridge to the road. So in terms of when we'll finish the project, we are looking at end of November. That's when we'll be done with all the works.
During the State of the Nation address last week, President Emmerson Mnangagwa highlighted infrastructure projects being carried out by the Second Republic.
Infrastructure upgrading and development projects are steadily progressing through innovative funding models by Treasury, private sector financing, as well as support from development partners. Completion, rehabilitation, and upgrading of the Harare-Chirundu Road, Christmas Pass, Bulawayo Victoria Falls Road, Chirundu Border Post, and the Forbes Border Post remain top priority. The construction of other road infrastructure, such as interchanges at strategic points in our cities, are on the cards, with the Trabablas, with the Trabablas interchange now operational. Notable progress has been registered in implementing the Zimbabwe Integrated Transport Information Managing System project, which includes automating services at the Vehicle Inspectorate Department, Central Vehicle Registry, and Road Motor Transportation.
Government has rolled out infrastructure developments across the country in line with the Vision 2030 aspirations of achieving an upper middle income society. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
The cotton and textiles industry is now back to life following the revival of David Whitehead. The industry has the potential to become a key economic enabler if given robust support.
The closure of textiles giant David Whitehead at the turn of the millennium led to the total collapse of the country's cotton and textiles value chain, with the hundreds of jobs getting lost along the way. And the country depended heavily on imports for its needs. However, the coming in of a new investor about 5 years ago invested more than 35 million United States dollars. And here we are. This spinning plant is up and running to resuscitate the country's textiles industry.
This Saturday, the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Industry and Commerce, led by Honorable Clemens Chidua, toured the Kandoma and Chegutu spinning and weaving plants now fitted with modern equipment, whilst creating thousands of jobs along the entire value chain.
Localization, beneficiation, and the promotion of local products is very critical. Looking at what is happening here, this is massive investment and it's in sync with our industrialization agenda. And we are saying, as the portfolio committee, we really support what is happening here. And going forward, we are also going to look at other companies that are into the cotton value chain. And it should assist us as a committee to come up with a comprehensive report, which will then feed into the executive when it comes to policy making.
David Whitehead, Executive Director Roderick Musiwa, highlighted the importance of government support for the company to sustain operations and boost job creation.
David Whitehead was not running for a number of years, but as you can see, it's back, it's running, and we're happy that you've seen what we're doing in Kadoma. We are producing the yarn, and we're here now at the Chegu facility where we're producing the fabric. So we're happy that we can actually produce, as much as 2 million meters a month, and which is quite a considerable amount of, fabric, which is going into the market. And we're saying to our parliamentarians, let's work together, to create that, to make sure that we then invest locally to import substitute whatever it is that is being imported.
David Whitehead went through various cycles of judicial management, but a new investor has given the textiles industry a new lease of life for Aaron Kachidza.
We are quite investor, yes, kune pundutso. Nenyaya yekuti takati tisingahori. Asi iye zvinoda kuziva zvedu kupera kwemwedzi wewe tinohora.
Indeed, David Whitehead is an awakening giant and has the potential to accelerate the country's rural industrialization agenda as it works with hundreds of farmers countrywide to produce cotton as well as sunflower for one of its divisions which produces edible oils. But most importantly, the resuscitation of the country's cotton and textiles industry hinges upon providing maximum support to this company, which has been granted a new lease of life by new investors who have invested US $35 million to date. Owen Mandova, ZBC News.
Pronouncement by government to initiate processes for issuance of title deeds to beneficiaries of the Garikai Hlalani Kuhle housing scheme has been welcomed by Whitecliff residents for ensuring security of tenure.
Cabinet considered and approved the proposal for the user pays principle to compensate for the government housing projects implemented on private, indigenous owned and other properties or farms and urban state land. Beneficiaries are assured of security of tenure as they will be issued with title deeds under the Presidential Title Deeds Program. The issuance of title deeds will add value to the properties. The beneficiaries will have access to basic services. Beneficiaries will also enjoy the benefits of properly planned settlements.
The announcement by government during the recent post-cabinet briefing in Harare has been warmly welcomed by residents of Whitecliff, who say the long-awaited title deeds will finally bring security of tenure and unlock local development.
Tukanawane title deeds unotonzwa kufarira kuti ndapa nzvimbo yangu. Vazukuru vanenge vane pekugarawo. Saka isi totenda hurumende kuti hurumende yedu iri kutigonyera kuti wane kuti pekugara aiwa zvinotendwa kaizvo.
Chirongwa chematitle deeds tochifarira singaite nekuti toita kuzoti tiri kugara pedu chaipo chaipo patisingazobviswa.
Chirongwa ichi tinochifarira nokuti takangogara tisingazwi kuti tiri kuenda kupi. Saka tinochifarira nokuti toitawo kuzivawo kuti taane pedu dzimba dzine mapepa taakusiyirawo vana vedu.
The initiative forms part of government's wider program to regularize and modernize housing under the Garikai Hlalani Kuhle program, ensuring that every Zimbabwean has secure, dignified shelter. It comes at a time government is transforming informal settlements into planned serviced communities while compensating private landowners. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Harare.
The Mabobolo community in Binga is the latest to benefit from the national grid under government's accelerated rural electrification program. The development comes as the nation moves towards the attainment of an upper middle income society by 2030.
The Mabolo Community Electrification Project in Binga has seen 2 schools, a business center, and a clinic being connected to the national grid, courtesy of government's rural electrification program, which is being implemented countrywide.
Magetsi semwana wechikoro nchamashandisa kuchajisa malaptop.
Tavakuvafundisia zvinoyanda magetsi, tavakuvatondesera kuti ndio chinonzi socket, ndio computer.
Twavachibhadhara ano tunosirikwa akirinika ichikoro chavano isekendari yavano ikirinika ano.
Rear Acting Chief Executive Officer Mrs. Felista Makumbinde spoke on the scope of the electrification program.
Matabeleland North Province, my electrification of my public institutions, tichireva my schools, my clinics, esezvao tiripa 85%.
For government, the electrification of rural areas marks a significant step towards the attainment of an upper middle income society status by 2030.
Kutishuwa magets amaka promise atamaona, and this speaks to his mantra of leaving no one and no place behind.
Iko zvino pakufundiwa zve digital, zve ICT haitiki pano pamavovolo kana pasina magetsi. Saka tauya kuzozadzisa izvozvo. Vamnangagwa vari kuita izvozvo. Town inofana kuva kumaruwa.
The electrification program is in line with government's rural industrialization drive, which seeks to create rural economies and transforms lives under the inclusive development approach. Wadzanai Mandima, ZBC News, Binga.
The global community has been challenged to confront the enduring and evolving barriers to gender equality with renewed urgency, solidarity and innovation. This emerged at the just-ended Group of 20 G20 Empowerment of Women Working Group ministerial meeting in South Africa this Saturday.
The G20 Empowerment of Women Working Group ministerial meeting concluded with the first ever G20 ministerial declaration on the empowerment of women, which will be forwarded for adoption by world leaders at the summit. South Africa is the first African nation to host the presidency of the G20 and chose solidarity, equality and sustainability as its priority theme for the year-long term. The host minister in the presidency of Women, Youth and Persons with Disability, Ms. Zindiswe Kunga, who also chairs the G20 Empowerment of Women Working Group, outlined three main areas of focus for the group during South Africa's presidency, including tackling unpaid and paid care work, boosting financial inclusion of women, and fighting gender-based violence and femicide. Zimbabwe attended as a guest country with the Minister of Women Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprises Development, Senator Monica Mtangwa, emphasizing that women empowerment and gender equality is not just an embodiment of social justice, but also a key driving force for sustainable development.
We feel that it's the G20, it's not just for South Africa, but it is for the whole of Africa. Clearly, it has come out that gender equality and women empowerment is just not a moral issue to do, but it is actually a strategic decision for all countries to take. You can't leave behind half of your population not empowered, then you will never realize full potential of that country. We are also looking at access to capital for our women small and medium enterprises. Small and medium enterprises in this continent, particularly in Africa, are playing a very critical role in the economic development of our countries. And what is important is to look at each and every woman, starting from the woman who is in the rural areas, not leaving anyone behind or any place behind.
The meeting also cast the spotlight on policy development, research exchange, and the ministerial session consolidating key recommendations on collective action to promote women's empowerment across the G20 platform. Memory Chamisa, ZBC News.
Youths in Makoni, Manicaland province have held government projects to empower them, spearhead development and fight the drug and substance abuse scourge.
The fight against the drug and substance abuse in Makoni West has entered a new phase as the local legislator and Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Jennifer Mswere, is coming up with various interventions to raise awareness on the scourge. This Saturday, Dr. Mswere hosted a sports tournament dominated by the anti-drug abuse campaign targeting youths who are the most affected constituents.
Nasi atisukugona na wa Mswere nemari yavatipa yemaprojects
maprograms ese avari kuya nawo maprojects ese avari kuya nawo anotisiya tiri pane zvimwe zvikamu since so far takupinda musizini yekundorima tiri kundovhencha mune zvakasiyana siyana tinoramba tine something chatiri tikaconstructa pazviri
zvesport izvi zvinhu zvandaifarira kubva kuchikoro but
tatakangogara kumba. Saka zvinhu zvakatikoshera kuti tawana mukana semadzimai.
Tautenda mukati mezuva ranhasi ratagadzirirwa naminista wedu Muswere wana hawachadhakwi tasora tichifara tapiwa mari yekuita maprojekti.
The local leadership also commended Minister Muswere for his hands-on approach in transforming rural livelihoods through income-generating projects over and above efforts to fight drug and substance abuse.
Computer takapiwa, mabhuku muzvikoro takapiwa, huku takapiwa, nguruwe isusu kwedu uko kauko za 52.
Nda kutenda zvehonorable Muswere neproject yavakatanga kuti zvinhu zviri kufamba mune zvakanaka. Apa tichaoni wana waduku vachindotora zvinodhaka kana kumwa doro kana kuita sewese wabatwa nebhora.
Nyaya iri panapa yataunganira zhinji yacho yanga iri kupuhwa ma-resolutions akabva kupaswa kuconference. Saka vanhu vazhinji vakunzwisisa maererano neresolution number 1 yekuti president vanofanirwa kutonga kusvikira 2030.
Minister Muswere, who also distributed chicks and feed during the tournament as part of the broader economic empowerment program, said the tournament is not just about sport, but also a platform to engage youth on development and empowerment initiatives.
Handinyaya kuti mungotamba bhora zvichigumira ipapo. Asi mukana wekuti musangane tichitaura zvedevelopment. Pangadaro pane umwe ari kutsvaka basa. Ane ma-qualifications ake. Asi anokwanisa kuita sei kutipa mapepa ake kuti tikwanise kumubatsira. Award rimwe nerimwe tichasiya 1,500. Zvichireva izvo kuti tinge tasiya mumakoni west 13,500. Mozonorowana futi at a high level. Ndo kune mukombe unosvika 7,000 US. Saka taa 7,000 US toda kuwirirana kuti timu ichazohwina mumakoni west yese ndo ichaenda ne5,000 US. Tunzwisana? Then dzinenge dzadyiwa dzopuwa 1,000, 7,000. So total 20,000 yaita sei? Yapera.
The gatherings have also served as an opportunity for the legislator to give feedback on the resolutions adopted at the ZANU-PF National People's Conference, including the resolution calling for the extension of President Mnangagwa's term to 2030.
Musangano watakaita kwaMutare zviga zvakatarwa zvakatarisana nenhau dzekuti nyika ino ibudirire. Pavakwe mamwe mayunivhesiti, madhamu ekunzvi negwaishangana apere, mimwe mitero inobhadharwa pakutransfer mari inge ichibviswa. Mayunivhesiti, vana Manicaland State University vange vachivakwa zvichiita kuti muite budiriro munyika. Asi resolution number 1 yakapaswa ndeyekuti utungamiriro hwaPresident Mnangagwa zvichienderana nekugona kwavari kuita hunge huchiwedzerwa kuti vatonge kusvika 2030.
As the tournament progresses to the world level and with more empowerment initiatives being rolled out, Makoni West is fast becoming a model of youth engagement and rural transformation under the Second Republic. Kenya's Sivuje, ZBC News, Mutare.
ZANU-PF Midland Province held a final provincial coordinating committee meeting of the year in Gweru this Saturday. Let's get more details from the following report.
The ruling ZANU-PF Party's Midlands Provincial Coordinating Committee meeting provided an opportunity for district leaders to review the year's activities and highlight areas that require improvement in their respective districts. Opening the meeting, ZANU-PF Midlands Provincial Chairperson, Comrade Edson Chierenge, expressed gratitude to President Emmerson Mnangagwa for his continued support towards strengthening party structures.
Rudo iroro torushuvira kuti rwaramba rwakadaro tine zvatiri kutarisira kuti kubvawo nhasi zvichienda mberi tishandewo takadaro tinopedza gore redu kusvika tagadzira new calendar kuti tiri kuwana mareports kubva kuma-DCC chairpersons kureva kuti kumusha kwavo kune zvirikowo nehurukuro dziriko dzinodiwa kuti province inozoti ko makanyararirei musina kumbotiudza.
The meeting marked the conclusion of the party's provincial calendar for 2025.
ZANU-PF Mashonaland East Provincial Chairperson Comrade Daniel Garwe says the province is delighted that one of its main resolutions at the just-ended National People's Conference, Resolution Number 1, sailed through.
Addressing ZANU-PF members at a victory celebration party in Ward 3 Murewa North constituency, the ruling party's Mashonaland East Provincial Chairperson, Comrade Daniel Garwe, said everyone in the province is delighted that Resolution Number 1 sailed through at the national conference in Mutare last month and is now waiting for its implementation.
Nofunga tisatenda conference maitinzwa chitaura kuti mabhuku haana kubalansa. Toda kuenda conference kunobhalansisa mabhuku. Da mufaro wangu kuzivisai kuti mabhuku aya akazobhalansa. Zviri kuruboshwe ndo zviri kurudyi. Kuti vaMnangagwa ndo vanenge vari president wedu kusvika mugore ra2030 nekuseri kwaro. Variwo zvakare munyori mukuru weZANU-PF and first secretary weZANU-PF. Ndo zvakabuda musarudzo mabhuku akazobhalansa. Ndimi makatuma vanhu vakaenda kuconference makaita henyu nekuti hapana kana mumwe chete kana hafu munhu yakati handidi kuti mabhuku abhalanse.
Comrade Garwe, who is also Murewa North legislator, called for unity among party cadres, warning them against abuse of social media.
Kana chitaura nyaya yekubhalansisa mabhuku, hatisi kutarisa nyaya yemuhofisi chete. Tiri kutarisa nyaya yekuti tinge tichibatana, tiregere zvekutukana pasocial media, tinge tichidzora vana mugwara kuitira kuti ramangwana renyika ino risare riri mumaoko evana vasina pfungwa dzakafonyorwa nemadrugs.
ZANU-PF Central Committee members from the province also took the opportunity to parade their vehicles, which were given to them by the party's first secretary and president, Comrade Emerson Mnangagwa. Gerald Sasa, BC News, Murewa.
Interfaith organizations and several ZANU-PF affiliates have received funding under the Presidential Empowerment Scheme, which will enable members to venture into income-generating projects. The details from John Nandara.
The Presidential Empowerment Fund has once again reached the Manicaland province, where interfaith denominations and ZANU-PF affiliates received funding to embark on various empowerment projects. The funding is creating downstream benefits for the ordinary people.
Projects akanaka. Nowadays projects ndo ari kutoita kuti vanhu vakwanise kurarama. Especially vabereki vari kutoendesa vana kuchikoro nemaproject.
Empowerment inotibatsira murugare rwedu mukutichinja upenyu, magariro edu kuti tive neupenyu hwakanaka.
Tiri kubatsirwa vechidiki tiri kubva mumadrugs.
Presidential Investment Advisor Dr. Paul Tungwarara said the funds are a direct response to social and economic needs of the people.
We are here by today for one reason and one reason only: empowerment. We are here to turn the vision of the president into a tangible reality. Those are vision ya president. Those are and manakidzira zviri kuita nezvekuti president vari kuempower vanhu kuti vision yacho ienderere mberi. The funds I would disburse today are not from a faceless government department. They are direct investment from His Excellency, the President, to you and his people. He has listened to your struggles, understands your ambitions, and he is responding with action. This means ED delivers.
The funding is designed to support community projects and people's participation in the formal economy.
Kana waimpower machechi ako ukaimpower vanhu vanotenda kuna Kristu ndio vagara vanoziva kukosha kwokudya cheziya, ndio vagara vanoziva kukosha kwokubata mabasa nemavoko.
Mabasa vari kubata asati akambobatwa kana kupi zvawo kana nguva ipi. Muno muManicaland muri kuzviziva imi, iye zvino takabva kuvhurirwa matura mukauya zveneuwandu 56,000 metric tons. Tiri kuvakirwa mugwagwa unoita bypass the Christmas pass yanga yatinetsa nema-accident. Pakuvakwa Trababalas yatiri kuTrababalas 2 apo panonzi papfumo general.
Some of the affiliates that received the Presidential Empowerment Fund include Cross Borders for ED, Apostolic for ED, Youth Ambassadors for ED, and National Multi-Faith Economic Dialogue, among others. John Nandara, ZBC News, Mutare.
From Pocketteville to Montrose, where Marilyn Ngwenya is on standby with the other part of the bulletin. Good evening, Mary, and it is over to you. Good evening, and many thanks to you, Yvonne. In our following report, a new incinerator installed at Mpilo Central Hospital in Bulawayo to revolutionize medical waste management is now undergoing technical commissioning to test the functionality of its components before operationalization.
The diesel-powered incinerator, said to be the second largest in the country, is undergoing rigorous tests and verification at Mpilo Central Hospital in Bulawayo to monitor the safety and functionality of the equipment before commissioning.
We've got a modern giant incinerator for medical waste, of which the technical commissioning is in process and likely to be finalized in this coming week.
The incinerator project is not only a game changer for waste management in the country, but its social impact extends beyond Mpilo Central Hospital.
It will be catering not only from Mpilo and other nearby hospitals, because they will also come and put their waste there for the incineration. So definitely we are working on that, because it's being done by government and other partners.
The diesel-powered incinerator has the capacity to treat at least 250 kg of waste per hour, reaching temperatures between 1,000 and 1,200 degrees Celsius. Lisa Correa, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
The ZANU-PF leadership in Mberengwa district has pledged to continue collaborating with traditional leaders to promote socio-economic development, aligning with the country's Vision 2030 goal of achieving an upper middle income society by 2030.
Traditional leaders in the Mberengwa district have commended the ZANU-PF party leadership for implementing well-planned economic and community development initiatives within communities aimed at improving the welfare of people in the district. This comes after chiefs received farming inputs and equipment from ZANU-PF party leadership this Sunday.
Tine vanhu vatinotungamirira vamwe havakwanisi kurima, tinogona kuti tigoriritira vanhu vanotambura, vanoshayiwa, vane zhara.
Tinotenda zvikuru kuti dai mvura ikanaya tigowana zvokudya zvakatiringana.
A ZANU-PF Central Committee member and Mberengwa Central Constituency Legislator, Honorable Tinashe Shumba, emphasized the vital role traditional leaders play in national development.
Ticharamba tichiita maprogram akadai, tichingoita matsimba president kuti let's not leave anyone any place behind. So they to motivate him power vanhu vedu.
A government is impressed by the progress made so far in Mberengwa district under the rural industrialization agenda.
Toda kutenda hurumende ine muono, hurumende yomuiti. Very few words, but action packed. Patangopinda mu Second Republic, Mberengwa yachinja completely. Mozvonera nyangwe pano pamuri. Saka we are doing a lot. Ndakamirira baba va Emerson Dambudzo Munangagwa.
As development extends to rural areas, traditional leaders have emerged as crucial stakeholders in shaping developmental trajectory.
The construction boom in the country has triggered high demand for local engineers, with graduates from a local Institute of Civil Engineering expressing confidence of filling the skills gap.
The rate at which the construction sector is growing in line with nyika inovakwa nevene vayo ilizwe lakiwa ngavanikazi valo mantra has set the tone for the country to produce more engineers to complement public institutions which are churning out engineers to match the construction trends. Harare Institute of Engineering and Commerce has come on board to equip students with practical skills to participate in government signature projects.
I am very much happy to be one of the students who experienced the Travelers being constructed. So I worked there as one of the workers in the construction part. So we worked as contractors. So during the exercise or during the practice, I benefited a lot, of which there is a lot which we learned as Zimbabweans, doing our own thing, and it was the first of its own kind in Zimbabwe.
I've been involved in my projects Akatwande, PG Center, Dakawa part of the designing team. Currently in the design a 4-story building in Churchill. I was also involved among my projects in the attachment now Ministry of Local Government and Public Works. DZ Flats, I was involved.
Deputy Director Infrastructure Planning and Management Harare Metropolitan Province, Engineer Herbert Parish, who stood in for the Minister of State for Harare Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Senator Charles Tawengwa, at a graduation ceremony held in Harare on Friday, commended the public institution for complementing public institutions to churn out engineers who can match construction boom under the Second Republic.
The infrastructure boom in our country is at the center stage. So the need for such critical skills becomes so relevant, especially at this timing point where we are supposed to be having the youth with the necessary skills to address the pressing challenges that will be existing, be it in local authorities, be it ministries, departments, and agencies. So this initiative, which has been done by a private institute, really becomes key and demonstrates the government's role of society and role of government approach in addressing the needs of our people.
The Second Republic, under the leadership of President Emmerson Mnangagwa, took a deliberate policy to empower local contractors to construct roads and infrastructure development, a move that has created jobs for local engineers and youths at large.
Veld fires continue to ravage Manicaland province, with the house and property of former Mutare South legislator Comrade Freddy Kanzama in Makoni district being destroyed by fire.
Despite a significant decline in the hectarage destroyed by failed fires from 69,940 hectares for the period up to 31 October last year to 37,275 hectares the same period last year, the province is not yet out of woods, with the house of the former Member of Parliament, Mr. Freddy Kanzama in Makoni district, being destroyed by fire. The inferno, believed to have been ignited by poachers hunting animals, gutted down the Kanzama family home, destroying property worth thousands of dollars. Speaking at their homestead in Nyazura, Mr. Kanzama, who almost died in his house, spoke on the harrowing experience.
Ndakapinda mupaseji inopinda kaona dust nejusi chakutondikachidza ndabata mawalls ndichibuda kusvika ndabuda pane door ndandoziva kuti pane door rakavhurika, then I jumped outside. Ndakada kuti ndimhanye the other side kucheka kuti pane ringaite here kana kuti ndidaidze fire brigade. It was too late.
Mrs. Kanzama also narrated the sad story where the fire consumed everything in its path, leaving the family counting losses.
Mufamu medu muno mune nhoro dziri muno dzinogara muno mufamu muno dzinombopota dzichiuya dzichienda. Saka nguva zhinji padzinouya tikadziona kana kuti wakomana wakadziona dzichingofamba kutenderera, wane belief yawainayo yekuti kana wakange wapisa moto nhoro hadzichakwanisi kumhanya kutiza ndokuti waone kudzibata. saka tinongosangana netsauna iyoyo nguva zhinji.
Manicaland Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Advocate Mishek Mugadza, who visited the affected family, expressed concern over the failed fire incidents.
So far, we have experienced at least 72 incidences of fire. So pano apa tiri kurwadziwa kuti mwe wedu baba Kanzama vakasangana nedambudziko irori remoto. We have Nyanga topping the chart with 13,000 hectares of land destroyed. In Makoni, munomatiri 11,000.
In Manicaland province, failed fires have destroyed timber plantations, lodges, homesteads, irrigation equipment, forests and national parks, posing a major threat to livelihoods and wildlife. Kenya's Sivuje, ZBC News, Makoni.
Harare's summer sun has turned up the heat and the city is finding creative ways to keep its cool. Our reporter Wellington Makonese gives us more in tonight's This and That feature.
Summer beckons and the capital glows under a golden blaze. Temperature soar and the rhythm of Harare slows to a relaxed Sunday pace. From shop fronts to street corners, residents are discovering new tricks to beat the heat. On one hand, one bottle of water or a cold drink has become the day's survival kit.
Weekend tisiri pamabasa okuendawo kuna naleki kumvura unombochina zvedu tiri mumvura chiwanaota kuti unorerwawo.
For vendors, the rising temperature brings a silver lining. Brisk sales of ice creams, frozen treats. From icy refreshments to shady corners, it's a season tasting both creativity and endurance, even in fashion.
At
leisure centers, the story is the same, making every drop of water count. For many, summer is also a time to explore and embrace the outdoors.
Kana uchipisa kudai tisakuda kuti ungoenda panzvimbo yakatwasanuka ine mvura garomende yakasununguka like this.
Summertime tinokumboenda out like kune fresh air kwakasiyana nekumba.
Through Harare's summer blaze, staying cool has become a full-time job. And as the heat lingers, one thing is certain, Harare's spirit remains as warm and radiant as its weather. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Harare.
And that report takes us to a break. We will be back with Yvonne and Joyce from our Pocket Hill studios in Harare.
The Deposit Protection Corporation (DPC) invites members of the public and institutions who may have lodged their security documents with any of the following closed banking institutions: Afrasia Bank Limited, Royal Bank Zimbabwe Limited, Trust Banking Corporation, Interfin Bank Limited, and Allied Bank Limited. Kindly visit DPC offices at number 29 Railroad in Borodale, Harare, or number 34 Lole Road, corner Leopold Takaria Avenue, suburbs in Bulawayo. Documents to be collected include but are not limited to mortgage bonds, title deeds, notarial bonds, and notarial general covering bonds (NGCBs). Kindly bring valid identification in the form of a national ID document or valid passport, a board resolution authorizing you to receive the documents in the case of companies, a letter of administration in the case of executors of deceased estates, a court order or certificate of appointment in the case of liquidators or curators of companies, and any supporting documentation that may assist in the verification and retrieval process. For more information, kindly contact us on Harare office number 0242 252 336 or 0242 250 900 up to 1. Bulawayo office 0292 231 817 or 8. WhatsApp 0716 801 310. Email claims@dpcorp.co.zw. Deposit Protection Corporation. Protecting your deposits.
Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching Sunday Edition. 3 advanced A-level students at Ngezi High School in Kwekwe have designed an automated grain dryer to replace traditional grain drying methods such as open sun drying. We get more from Courage Boucher in our science and technology feature for tonight.
Driven by the desire to solve the challenge of post-harvest losses experienced by some farmers after every cropping season, 3 advanced level students, Rikomborero Gomo, Prince Nare and Muraga Mambo from Ngezi High School in Kwekwe, have developed an automated grain dryer. The machine, which is powered by electricity or solar, has 4 key components, namely a heat generator that produces hot air passing through the grain, an aeration system to force movement of air through grain to lower its temperature and equalize it, a desiccant board where the grain is placed, and a control panel for managing the drying process. It uses sensors to allow the measurement of temperature, moisture content, and relative humidity of the grain.
Actually, machine it is powered up ne 12-volt power supply yedu ndio tinoshandisa kumutsa everything chiri pamushina wedu. Asi tine mamwe ma switch achazoita achibadidza each and every part nekuti azobaki kawana auzonyatsoiti efficient zvakanaka. Saka ndada iso tabadidza mushina wedu ndo patinoto loader ma cereals edu uyu lift yedu yagadzigwa using a pulley system ndio takatevedzera panditika. Taona kuti mushina uyu ka sezochi producer heat anditi unonoita problem yekuti kana overheating izokonzera disaster kana kuputika kwemushina, ndo saka takazogadzira a cooling system iromu mukati memushina umu ndio tinozoti chabaka taona kuti madziya zvakanaka ndo patakubadidza cooling system yedu isizoma sound yachinja cooling system kuti temperature irimo ite constant chibage isazodi kana any cereal crop isazotsveka na temperature azonoita rise kuti apfurira apa nditi.
It is very effective because takarana ma test tatesta prototype yedu takamira sei takasa chibage but it takes a maximum of 6 to 7 days kuti chiome chibage, of which kana vachisa manual drying panza pa it takes ma weeks, so it means chibage chedu kana chichiomesa chiri kumuzanira mamarket hapana need yekuti ma buyers amire kuti amirese ma weeks kuti awane chibage.
A project supervisor, Mrs. Prince Purisa, weighed in explaining the importance of the project, which is in line with the heritage-based education framework.
Vanobatsirika zvizhinji vakabuda nepfungwa idzodzo dzokuti toita sei kuti tive ne high yield production munyika. Saizvozvi ne project yakaitwa nevana vedu iyo model ye cereal drying machine inoita kuti pave ne high yield production.
A grain drying machine usually reduces the moisture content of freshly harvested crops from around 17 to 30% moisture to between 8 and 15% depending on the type of grain.
And that's our science and technology feature, taking us to a break. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us.
Zim Digital set-top boxes, decoders with all the 7 local television channels and 6 national radio stations are now available for sale. The decoder will give viewers access to ZBC Jive TV, ZBC News, ZBC TV, ZTN Prime, Pre-K TV, Kiona TV, NRTV. No subscription is needed as all the channels are free to view. For $25 or the Zig equivalent, the decoder comes with a cable plus indoor and outdoor antenna. The decoders are available at the Broadcasting Authority of Zimbabwe, BAZ, Transmedia, and all the TV broadcasters.
Welcome back. We now give you our sports buzz. Scotland have made history by winning the Premier Soccer League title in their debut season. The Mabuku-based side dispatched Kwekwe United 5-1 at Ascot Stadium in Gweru this Sunday to take an unassailable lead at the top of the log.
Just like when kings are crowned, the heavens opened in Gweru just as the final whistle was blown to end a match that saw Scotland being confirmed 2025 champions. The Mavuku-based side became the second team in Zimbabwe to win the league in their debut season after Black Rhinos in 1984. The door was opened this Saturday after Simba Bora dropped points, and what was left was crowning, and the fans came in their numbers in anticipation, and the team did not disappoint. Scotland put up a 5-star performance to win 5-1 over a hapless and relegated Kwekwe United. Playing for pride, the home side were not easy customers and were determined to spoil the party, with Elton Nechiwara in goals for Kwekwe, pulling off great saves until the 27th minute when Mercurial Kamapiliat lobbed the ball into the back of the net to open the floodgates. Moments later, it was Timon Machope who hit the roof of the net to increase Maviravira's tally to 2 goals to cement the title. Further goals in the second half only made the victory sweeter for Scotland. It was a good day in office for coach Tondera Ndirai, who has now won back-to-back titles with 2 different sides. Ndirai led Simba Bora to glory last season before crossing the floor to join the debutants at the beginning of the season. Meanwhile, struggling Dynamos moved out of the relegation zone after a 1-0 victory over Bikita Minerals at Rufaro Stadium. The Glamour Boys were now 13th on the log with 37 points, are however not safe and will hope to collect maximum points in their last 2 matches against Yard and FC Platinum. Ntokozi Stube, ZBC News, Gweru.
And now in cricket news, Afghanistan have completed a 3-0 T20 whitewash over Zimbabwe at Harare Sports Club this Sunday.
The visitors, who opted to bat first, posted a mammoth 210 for 2 in their 20 overs, powered by a blistering 92 from Rahmanullah Gubath and a 60 from Ibrahim Zadran. The duo's 159-run opening stand set the tone for Afghanistan's dominance and was the highlight of an iconic whitewash. In response, Zimbabwe fell just short of the total, or out for 201 after 20 overs, despite a spirited chase. Sikandar Raza top scored with 51 runs off 29 balls. Brian Bennett made 47 of 31, while Ryan Bell's quick-fire 37 from 15 deliveries kept hopes alive, putting together an 85-run partnership, which renewed Zimbabwe's hopes. Youngster Tashinga Msekiwa added 28 runs, but Zimbabwe collapsed in the 18th over after losing 2 quick wickets. The win marks Afghanistan's 3rd consecutive T20 International Series win over Zimbabwe, having also posted such victories in Harare in 2022 and 2024. Reynold Nkwarati, ZBC News, Harare.
The Zimbabwe Strongman Federation is celebrating yet another milestone after one of its athletes, Chidoma Enzanise, was crowned Africa's strongest woman at the East Rand Strongest competition held in South Africa this Saturday.
In a sport defined by sheer power and endurance, Zimbabwe's Chidoma Enzanise has once again proven that strength knows no limit. With 28 medals to her name, Enzanise powered her way past some of the continent's toughest competitors to be crowned Africa's strongest woman.
If you train hard, if you work hard, you will get the trophy as I'm holding it. You know, because it's like, I couldn't believe that I will be holding this trophy. Because it's like, South Africa was on lead in Ghana, in Zimbabwe, meaning me. We were on a tie on number 2, and I couldn't believe that I'll be holding the number 1 trophy, because with the tie with Ghana, I was now fighting for number 2, not for number 1. It's coming, another trophy for the world. Because for Zimbabwe, I've conquered Botswana, Zambia, South Africa, Africa, I've done it. So now it's for the world. What can stop me? I will bring the gold back home.
Your victory secured her a place at the world's strongest competition in the United States, where she will represent Zimbabwe on the global stage alongside fellow strongmen and women. Among those joining her is Trevor Chingosho, a former rugby player who switched codes to test his limits in a strength sport, a move that is paying off as he continues to make waves in regional competitions.
When I went through strongmen and I saw the heavy objects, I fell in love with it. It's something that tests you as a person, as an individual, and how much you've got to give.
Under the leadership of Knowledge Musengi, the Zimbabwe Strongman Federation has been running successful national contests and sending athletes to regional tournaments, including the recent event in Zambia, where Zimbabwe bagged silver and gold medals.
My vision is to grow the sport from grassroots to the top. Because right now, as we are running, we have the platform for the present, and the grassroots is growing, and then the future. So by the grassroots, we're targeting to grow the sport in schools, so that it will be run in schools just like what football, tennis, rugby is doing.
From local gyms to the world stage, Zimbabwe's strongest people are proving that dedication, discipline, and national pride can lift more than just weights, but also the spirit of an entire nation. Reynold Ngwarati, ZBC News, Harare.
A major fitness and entertainment extravaganza is set to light up Harare at the end of the month, all in the spirit of November. The global campaign raises awareness on men's health, fitness, and mental health.
With government declaring war against drug and substance abuse, the Musavunda Fitness and Wellness Festival promises to be more than just 2 days of workouts and fun, but a bold statement encouraging men and young people to channel their energies away from the scourge and towards positive, healthy lifestyles. Set for the 29th and 30th of November, the event will feature endurance challenges, group fitness sessions, and exhilarating performances by several artists, including Nisha Tears, all designed to inspire participants to find healing and balance through movement and music.
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be high impact and high intensity activity for 3 hours. Then thereafter, we're going to have various team building activities.
Organizers say the blend of high energy workouts, live performances, and open mental health conversations aims to help especially the youth channel their energies towards fitness and well-being. Reynold Ngwarati, ZBC News, Harare.
And that's our sports buzz taking us to showbiz. And we start off in Bulawayo, where Thobela Arts Foundation hosted the Thobela Art Foundation Artists Empowerment Day Festival this Saturday at Amakosi Theatre in Bulawayo to equip emerging creatives with professional and performance development skills.
Young creatives gathered at Amakosi Theatre this Saturday for workshops, mentorship and performance training aimed at strengthening professional standards and building sustainable arts careers in Bulawayo's creative sector.
Silapha namhlanje emakhosi lapha sizozama ukuthi sinandise sikholise ku-artist empowerment day injongo kungeyokuthi ama-talent ethu lapha koBulawayo lathi evele.
So namhlanje sikhangelela ukuthi sisendaweni yasemakhosi kulilanga elihle kakhulu elenzwe iTough News ukuthi kuphakamisele umculo wakithi lawo sibona usezingeni eliphakemeleyo.
Usuku lwanamhlanje luphethe ama-artists and it's all about empowering artists. What we have from ekseni kusukela emini slama ama-workshop based on empowering ama-artists. So we called artists out to come and learn on how they can empower themselves and do most of the things that they feel like they need other people to do for them.
Sifuna ukuthi as ama-artist singene ehlelweni nalolu oluphakamisa igovernment that is addressing the issues of mental health. Some of them are through ama-challenges drug, alcohol and substance abuse.
Lamhlanje njengoba libhekile ukuthi silapha emakhosi Cultural Center. Yikho lapho esihlangane khona labaculi abanengi, about 20 of them under i-theme ethi khona Artist Empowerment Program Day, whereby siphakamisa kakhulu i-local talent yethu, i-local content. Siyazi ukuthi khona silama ama-artist anekhono kakhulu kwelakithi kodwa abaziveze emphakathini.
Participating artists welcomed the initiative and are confident the skills gained will enhance their creative journeys and boost Bulawayo's art scene.
Still in the arts, the just commenced ZBC Radio Services Mega Tour is this weekend's major highlight, drawing radio lovers from across Zimbabwe for a celebration of sound and connection.
It was pure euphoria at Stormwood in Harare this Saturday as revelers sang, danced and cheered their favorite DJs, turning the ZBC Radio Mega Tour into a festival of rhythm, unity and joy. DJs from Power FM Radio Zimbabwe and Classic 263 spun crowd favorites, with each track igniting excitement, with some hits turning into instant anthems that echoed across the field. One by one, fans took to the stage, showcasing their best dance moves in friendly battles that had the crowd roaring with laughter and applause. Still on the tour this Sunday, Mutoko added its own flavor to the celebration, with joy painted on every face. The mega tour proved once again that radio in Zimbabwe is not just listened to, but is also celebrated, danced to, and deeply felt. Away from the road tours, the African Heritage Fashion Show at Rhodesview Shopping Center brought together another splash of color to the weekend, showcasing African prints, designs and timeless styles inspired by the continent's rich traditions.
Well, it was a fun-filled weekend indeed. And on that note, Joyce, we've come to the end of the bulletin for tonight. Thank you for having joined us from our Montrose crew as well as here at Pockett's. Good night.
Good night.
It's a very good evening to you guys. I hope I find you well and everything being in order. Welcome to yet another edition of the Gospel Mix. It's the Apostle DJ in the mix.